Welcome to another episode of Sibling Showdown, the Best Ball Edition and the Live Draft Edition. I'm Meg, and you can find me on Twitter at Megs08DFS. I'm joined by my sibling, my brother, Steve. You can find him on Twitter at SteveOSpeak. And we are very excited for our weekly live draft. We're drafting best ball drafts live on stream every single week this summer. And today we're drafting a puppy. So, Steve, how are you doing? And are you ready to rip a puppy draft on Underdog?
Oh, doing good. I'm excited.
Yeah, we've been drafting, in the BBM4 streets. And of course, the puppy is the $5 tournament. So I'm going to bring over Underdog right now. And yes, as you can see, or let's see, it is a $5 entry. It is a top prize of $75,000. But everything else is the same format, other than it does not have the season-long component as Best Ball Mania 4 does. So it is just purely the playoff format where you need two to advance to round. Well, you have to help me with the round advancements here on the puppy. Do you remember, Steve?
I will have to look that up.
Okay, I believe it's two 2 out of 12 advance out of the first round after the regular season 1 through 14. 2 will advance to the playoffs. Then I believe in the puppy 2 advance each round in rounds 15 and round 16 to round 17, but you'll have to double check me.
So it's 2 out of round 1, 2 out of round 2. It's an 18-person group, and then 1 out of round 3, another 18-person group, and then there's a 115-person live final.
Okay. Right. Week 17 final. So yes, This is playoff format only, but again, only a $5 entry fee, $75,000 up top. Well, let's shoot for it. And if I win, because I think it was a Pomeranian last year that we had a very live lineup that almost made the finals. And I swear to God, I'll split it with you. So you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So we're enter the puppy. If you haven't watched it yet, we just did a show this week as we're waiting for this to fill about how we are really looking to stack up good offenses. We looked at different data points to find these top offenses. Obviously, we know the ones that were top offenses in multiple categories for 2022 probably will be some of the same ones for 2023, but there could also be some dark horses like the Lions and Jaguars were this last year. So we're going to be looking to stack up top offenses and stack it up in smart ways. So if you didn't check out that episode, be sure to check out that episode on the FanSpeak Network. The draft is starting. I am pick number 4, which I love. I hate those middle of the round. I got 2 pick 6 or 7 yesterday, and it drove me insane. So I am happy to be in the front half of the draft. So Steve, let's talk it through. With pick 4,
would you be able to make it a little bigger just to make it easier to read?
Yeah, I don't know. I might mess it up. But can I do it after my first pick?
Sure.
Okay. I'm nervous I'm going to mess it up. So after my first pick, I will do that.
Well, as for at the top, I really think right now it's a 5-man race. I think Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, this is the order I like them. Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey. For me, it's kind of a tie between Tyreek Hill and Jamar Chase. I'd probably lean Hill just a little bit, but honestly, I think it's the same. And then Travis Kelce. And I think there's a good case for Kelce because it does allow you to do, hero tight end and basically ignore a tight end until the 19th or 20th round, or I'm sorry, 17th or 18th round. Okay, and so there's some value there. But to me, it's those 5 that I really want in the top 5.
Okay, we'll have a quick decision here. We have Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill, Steve. Yeah. He had Tua not gotten hurt.
He would have been incredible.
Exactly. Tua not gotten hurt. He was going to give Justin Jefferson a run for his money. So we have 16 picks now. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. You could talk about Tyreek Hill further.
So, Hill and Waddle, we just actually talked about them being part of a condensed offense. I mean, Hill had just so many targets. And, actually his calling card, his deep ball, was not as prevalent as we've seen in the past. So, if that starts getting going, it could be even better. And of course, the biggest thing is, you look at his splits with Tua and without, just massive. We're talking a couple point per game difference between the two. And if Tua stays healthy, we love Mike McDaniel. This offense, I think, can just hum. So big fan.
When I get somebody like that, I like to just highlight the quarterback just to keep an eye on their ADP. we are up in 11 picks. So, so at this type of, when you start a live draft and you see your draft position, you see who you get first. That's when you start to formulate what this draft is going to kind of become as far as the strategy for it. And for this type of draft, we'll have to see, which running backs and receivers are available. But a lot of times the running backs are falling. And if there are some good starting caliber running backs, I'm going to just look at the board super quick, and then we're 9 picks away. We're at the turn right now. Can you see that? Okay. Yeah. So CD Lamb, Garrett Wilson, we had a major run of receivers, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, CD Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. We're up in Jalen Waddle. So we are up in 6 picks. And with that said, let's take that kind of thinned out the receiver position pretty quick. So what that did was it left a massive value at the running back position. I'm still 6 picks away, Steve, but if one of Eckler, Taylor, Barkley, or Chubb is there, I'm taking them. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not as high on Jonathan Taylor this year, just with not knowing what that offense is. Richardson,
I'd say it's more the value, that I could get there. But
so, yeah, I would much rather prefer Barkley and Chubb over Taylor.
Okay.
Even Pollard from that high-powered Dallas offense.
Right. Well, again, we are up in 3 picks, and we still have Barkley, Chubb, Pollard. I'd be interested in any of them here. I'm at pick 21. As you can see, good running backs are following, though now there's a mini run on it. It went Eckler, Hurts, first quarterback off the board, Jonathan Taylor, Barkley. Let's see what the 2 picks in front of me do. I'm hoping Chubb is still there, or Pollard. In our last episode, we talked about the Dallas offense, and kind of people are, not Pollard or Lamb, but like people don't love targeting Dallas offense. They're top offense. Don't mistake that. So I'd say Chubb and Pollard. Looking at the whole board, I could do like a hero quarterback, but I just love the running back value. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I would go running back here.
Chubb is there. I haven't had an opportunity to take Chubb yet at like this kind of value. So I'm going to grab Chubb. I'll be back up in 6 picks. I doubt Tony Pollard would still be there. Josh Jacobs is another target. Breece Hall. Looking at receivers, I'm up in 4. Just want to keep in mind, of course, I'm interested in Devonta Smith if he was still there. Would you do a hero quarterback if they're still there at pick 28? I mean, if Josh Allen's there, you're getting tremendous value.
Yeah, that is tempting for sure.
I was going to say, did some news happen today? Why is he falling so much here? I mean, he just went. Okay. Okay. So he just went. So yeah, I mean, I'd be right around Lamar's ADP. So you could do Lamar, Fields. You could, again, pick up a second kind of hero running back in Jacobs or Breece Hall, or Devonta Smith is gone. And again, I'm not really interested in reaching for like a Mark Andrews. So what do you think? Like a Jacobs or Breece Hall?
Yeah, I love Jacobs and Hall.
Okay. I mean, again, these guys didn't get more, competition or Jacobs didn't get more competition. Nick Chubb did not get more competition drafted. And so, they have a lot of value as just bell cow running backs. So we have Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill to start, 2 running backs and a stud alpha receiver. I love the start. Obviously I've queued up Tua for the stack, but I'm willing to take somebody else. Let's talk that through as 14 picks away, and then we need to queue up more people. As we look at the quarterback board, I do love getting one of the top quarterbacks when I can. Obviously, the top, I believe, 3 are already gone. 4 are gone in Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar. Would you target one of these top ones with Tua, or would you more stay in that Tua range if possible, and then kind of get some other mid or late tier quarterbacks? What would you do?
So to me, I think it's going to depend on what we see at receiver coming up. If we get a situation where there's good receivers, then we might just want to hammer that and get, have 2 great running backs, 3 really good receivers, and then, kind of go with 2 mid-tier quarterback build. And as we know, a healthy Tua can be an elite quarterback.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we're still
Now,
10 picks
now,
away. We should cue some players. Go ahead.
yeah, the one thing is you could potentially get the Herbert and one of his pass catchers. So
I'm just going to cue that.
um, and also Lawrence and
Did Mike Williams just go? Mike Williams just went, so it's just Allen.
yeah,
Okay.
Ridley just went, but there's still Christian Kirk.
Okay, yeah, Lauren or Mike Williams went, Ridley went, but I queued up some of the receivers,
So
and Herbert just went. So I can queue up Lawrence. We're going to have to make some quick decisions here. 5 picks away. Would you go for like a Lawrence Tua stack, or would you again want to? Let's take a look at the receivers. I mean, we've got Debo sitting there. I'd say if Debo was gone, I don't know that I.
Yeah, can you go down a little bit below Judy, London, Allen, McLaurin? Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I don't mind getting 2 receivers here if you're willing to wait on quarterback. But yeah, we could try for the stack. I mean, Herbert's obviously gone, so it'd be Lawrence Kirk from a stacking standpoint.
What is Kirk's ADP? Okay, that's kind of around there. And I'm just looking at Lawrence's ADP. So would you probably have to take Kirk first and then Lawrence, or do you think with the quarterback demand, you'd have to take Lawrence first? I'd almost rather take Lawrence first because I'm happy with some of those other receivers. You could then still stack him with Ingram.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I mean, another thing we talked about in the show was Jacksonville be a top offense. He could make a 3rd-year leap like Lamar did, or like, So Harris went, Burrow went. So Lawrence is the top QB on the board. Do you think it's too much of a reach for him here?
No, I don't.
I really am bullish on Jacksonville taking another leap this season. So if Kirk is there at 52, I will take him. That is right at around his ADP. If he's not, I'm fine with one of these other receivers to bolster, since I only have one so far.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a plan with five picks to go? And then our next break, because I kind of like being at the top or bottom of a draft, because then you can kind of plan your next 2 picks and then talk through like kind of the strategy for the rest of the draft. Oh, my guy McLaurin just went. I love him. Love Terry.
Well, that's good for us because it pushes Kirk down to us.
Well, yeah, that's one way to look at it. Okay, London went. Miles Sanders, great pick. I love Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
So we are 2 picks away. Let's see if Kirk holds. And then we can start queuing and looking at the board more. Okay. I mean, are there any, if Kirk were to go, who would be your backup? I just want to have a backup in mind.
Well, I mean, Allen.
Yeah.
So you're 1 pick away. You're getting one of Allen or Kirk. So.
Okay. I was going to say, do you have any other preference between these 4, like Judy or Pittman?
No,
so you'd be fine with. Okay. I'm fine with Allen or Kirk too. So, so Keenan Allen went. Christian Kirk fell. The stack, we got the Lawrence stack there. So now we have some time to look at the board and queue up. Again, we have 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers. Lawrence, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, very good 2 here running backs, bell cow running backs start. Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk. So we could take a quick peek at the board, and then we need to start queuing things up. As you can see, there was 2 quarterbacks that went in their 2nd round, and then 3 went in the 3rd round. And then, I took Lawrence in the 4th round. So next pick up I'll have is the 6th and 7th round at 69 and 76. It's just fun to watch the board for a minute to see how, different runs on positions go. So we have a couple of tight ends. Obviously, Kelsey went in the 1st round, but then we have, Mark Andrews and Hawkinson off the board too. So let's start queuing, Steve. Again, I'm keeping my eye on Tua. That will probably be in round. Well, let me take a look at the board.
Round 8.
Yeah, 93. Isn't that right around his ADP?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I really wanted, I may have to reach, but we can talk about that later or in a minute. Let's queue up other running backs and receivers you like.
So I like Dobbins.
Love Dobbins. Yeah.
Second year coming back from a big injury. Damian Pierce. Um, I think,
If Joe Mixon falls, do you have interest since he'd be our
yeah,
third?
maybe more to the second of those picks that you have coming up.
Yeah.
And Pacheco
Love
is another one.
Pacheco. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and, and
Go ahead.
I would throw in Swift kind of in the same situation. If he's in there like 72, then I think that's good value on him. You passed him.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Now let's queue up some receivers. Ayuk, Lockett, Evans, George Pickens, Addison.
So Jordan Addison would be my number one guy.
A
I
rookie
think
is your third receiver. What about? I mean, I know Evans has a.
no, I like Mike Evans.
Okay, I'm just trying. I just want to queue up.
Go down.
Okay, so go ahead.
I think
We probably don't need to go too far because I'm not going to reach too far.
Yeah, but I think Tony would be a fair
right. He'd be fine in
spot.
that range.
And also
too far. We're talking about the next pick then. So go ahead.
You could also look at tight ends.
Yep. Let me take a cue. We got 8 picks away. I want to look at that and then want to really see what's developing. So we have Kyle Pitts, Goddard, Waller.
Yeah, I mean those would be tremendous values.
I'm a little bit nervous on my receiver situation right now. So I don't know. I definitely want to get one of these receivers, and I am a little bit tempted to grab Tua. I'm bullish on him. I don't think he's going to be there by my next, not the first pick, but the second pick coming up.
The only thing I'd say is, as much as I love having Tua stacks, I mean, you did invest a lot in Lawrence, so it's like, do you need to reach for the secondary stack? If you take Jordan Addison, then Kirk Cousins could be your secondary quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'm just so bullish on Mike McDaniel offense, and obviously
I agree.
But I hear what you're saying. I already invested high, and so it's one thing if he falls to me in the next round, right around his ADP, but to reach for him. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. You make valid points. I hate when you're so level-headed.
I think if you do get 2 receivers here, or a receiver and like a running back like Pacheco, I think this team's looking really good. So
okay, that's why. I mean, listen, I love these tight ends here, and certainly you could draft Ingram with the second pick if you wanted to. Actually, no, that's a reach a little bit. So I love the top tight ends, but I really would like to shore up the running back, receiver, more especially receiver. So with 2 picks away, the receivers and running backs that I have the most interested in no particular or ADP order: Pacheco, Swift, Addison, Pickens, Mike Evans, Tony. I'm tempted to do like you said, if I grabbed Addison, I could target Cousins. If I miss out on Tua, I'm tempted to do like an Addison, Mike Evans, or Addison, Pickens. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I like that for sure.
As much as I really do like, though I am tempted. Well, Pacheco they made my decision for me. I was just gonna say, as much as I'm really tempted to grab Pacheco, and I do love Swift too. But again, there's a stable of 4 running backs. So when I already have 2 studs. Stable of 4 running backs with Eagles. It would be one thing if I desperately needed a running back. I don't. So Pickens just went. So I'm going to grab, I don't know. Do you think I should grab Evans or Addison?
I would take Addison. I think he gives you a higher upside.
Okay.
I like Mike Evans, but he's tied to some questionable situations here.
Okay. Well, he just went.
Okay. But like you have Tony, you have Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson, talk about positive touchdown regression, didn't have a single touchdown last year. Brandon Cooks,
I'm just queuing up some more that I like.
Yeah. So I think there's some really good options. And, if worst thing is, you're taking Swift, then so be it. But, I just think it's, my guess is whoever you didn't take, the team behind you was taking.
1 second. I just want to look at. Okay, so this is the one where it'd be a reach for Tua. Not going to do that. See if he falls to me in the next pick. If not, I'll have a backup plan with Kirk Cousins. I could take DeAndre Swift and have a really solid third running back. Just talking things through here, or taking Tony, especially since I missed out Pacheco. We talked about getting pieces of top offenses. I could grab a piece of the Chiefs offense if Tony is still there. I think with one pick left, Tony is my target. If not, and he's there. So I'm going to take Kadarius Toney. I'm getting a piece of the Chiefs offense that I like very, very much. Now we have a 16 pick break to look at it, to kind of wider angle here. We now have 4 receivers. Again, we only have like the one like massive alpha receiver, but we now have 4 receivers, which makes me feel better. So Lawrence, Chubb, Jacobs, Hill, Kirk, Addison, Toney. So now I feel more comfortable. Obviously, if Tua is still there, let's take a wide look at the board. So, I just drafted Kadarius Addison and Toney at pick 76. And in the 7th round, coming back, I'll have pick 93 in the 8th round. If Tua is there, I'm going to take him. If he's not, then I'll look and see what my backup plan. We can queue some more, but I'm interested in queuing up some, tight ends at this point. And other running backs and receivers too, of course. And then would queue Kirk Cousins later if Tua is taken. So just a little, after Toney, it did go Akers, Deontay Johnson, Waller, Swift, Brandon Cooks, Quentin Johnson. Let's go back 10 picks away. And I queued up some other receivers I liked in Jahan Dotson, Cortland Sutton. I know Jameson Williams is suspended. That's more like if he falls type situation. I'm just going to queue Kirk Cousins as a backup just to have. Looking at running backs, Dave Montgomery and James Cook from Buffalo just went. I know you are high on Connor. Definitely could have some spike weeks even in that offense, which is questionable this year. Javonte injury, Kamara suspension. I'm not as bullish on Charbonnet as others. Brian Robinson, but I think that's later. Any other Ingram just went, just as an aside on the tight ends. Let me just quickly look. So Tua is still there with 7 picks away. Dotson, Dak Prescott just went. So I have Dotson, Sutton, Jameson Williams. Sutton just went. Any other ones that you want to queue up? There's the Baltimore receivers.
Nothing that stands out
Dotson
right there.
Just went. Yeah, of course. There's a run on the receivers. That's what we wanted to focus on. We're in that range.
Not really. No.
For the second pick, I wouldn't mind Kincaid or Freiermuth. I'll just queue those up to have. So obviously at this point, I'm hoping Tua falls to me with 2-3 picks to go. If he doesn't, what would you do?
Well, and this is the risk, but because you have a pick so close, I do think there's a clear tier break at running back. So you could take James Conner. Yeah. And while the team, a team a few spots behind you doesn't have a quarterback with Watson.
I just want to make a point. We just did a whole show about Anthony Richardson. He went Watson's 8th round.
Still there.
Okay. I'm up. I'm taking Tua. So.
Okay. James Conner went anyway. So when Anthony Richardson, James Conner, and I am taking Tua. So I have 2 stacks that I'm very happy with. We'll talk it through more at the next break. I am 5 picks away. That was a great point about Connor. And again, did a whole show on Anthony Richardson debate. Go check that out on the FanSpeak Network. Okay, go ahead with 5. Look at, receivers, because all those guys got taken.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. I clicked the wrong one.
So I think guessing on the right Baltimore guy, like if you like Odell, go down, I think Lazard.
I'm not really thrilled with this range, to be quite honest.
It's a rough area.
Yeah, so that's why I'm glad I have 4 receivers already, though. So I want to go back to tight end. Do you think this would be a reach, big reach on Kincaid? So I don't think I should do that. Do you feel like grabbing a tight end now is important with like a Freiermuth? Or maybe what I do is take a Brian Robinson that's very close to the ADP and have that third running back who is a starting caliber.
I think Robinson's a fine pick here.
Because if you look at the top of the board, I just don't like the guys above him, in their situations. That's why Robinson, it's not just because I'm a Washington fan. There is actually a reason to it. And I'm excited to see what Bieniemy does with this offense. I think he can utilize both Robinson and Gibson.
Yeah.
So if Robinson is still there, I'm going to take him. If he's not, I don't know. I mean, we can also Beckham win. So I'm going to take Brian Robinson to get my third running back. Okay. Now we have a break. We could talk this through. And I am loving this team. Get ready to split 75K, Steve. Okay. So again, we have 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 4 receivers, tight end. I'm okay with that, though. We can get a tight end by committee grabbing 3 tight ends. So Lawrence, Tua, we stacked both with Hill and Kirk. But again, Lawrence, Tua, Nick Chubb, Jacobs, Brian Robinson, 3 starting solid running backs. Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, Jordan Addison, Kadarius Toney as my 4 receivers. I do want to make tight end a priority as the next go around. Let's just take a quick look at the board before we start queuing things up, see how things are developing. So a little bit of a run on, quarterbacks in the last round, me being one of them with Tua, Anthony Richardson going, which is a big debate within the best ball world right now. And, again, I grabbed Brian Robinson, and then Williams, Kamara went after Elijah Moore. Jameson Williams did go. I mean, I'm fine taking Jameson Williams in and around that range. I just wouldn't reach for him. He went at pick 104.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're still 11 picks away. Want to queue up some tight ends. I'm bullish on the Pittsburgh offense, and you and I are both very bullish on Dalton Kincaid being used as a big slot receiver in that Buffalo offense. So I think if either of those are there in 10 picks, I have a ton of interest. Don't know that they either will be. So are there any other tight ends? We don't want to go too far down because then we'd really be reaching, but any other tight ends in this
Dalton Schultz, I think, is fine for that.
Yeah, he's solid, best friend. He was solid for me last year, and he even injured, and, kind of a best friend to a rookie quarterback can be a tight end sometimes. So
I'd get a look at another receiver.
Agreed. I like having Lazard queued up in that range.
Tyler Boyd.
Lazard just went. Tyler Boyd is a great floor play, from a, obviously high-powered offense. Still not in love with this. I could get another piece of Jacksonville offense with Zay Jones. We talked about not overstacking, but again, we're getting at we talked about in this offensive stacking show, stacking up top offenses and at various ADPs. So I don't mind that. I think that's certainly worth queuing. I know there's a lot of interest in rookie Jonathan Mingo. Don't think we need to prioritize running back at this point, but I just want to see if there's any really good ones falling or of good, ADP value. Of course, I love Devin Achane. He's definitely been going up the draft boards. So, any running backs that you just want to have in the queue?
Right here, like you said, I don't think you need it right here. If everyone gets taken, then we can go back and look. But it's 3 picks away, so I really
hopefully like one of these
Kincaid, Boyd, or Zay Jones would be my kind of order, with Freiermuth kind of the 4th. But I'm fine with Freiermuth also. So I think he's going to get some positive touchdown regression as well.
Boyd just went. Who did you say? Freiermuth positive touchdown. So, I mean, his ADP is higher, but I probably like Kincaid more. I am bullish on Pittsburgh to step up offense, and he just went. So he made the decision for me. I'm going to go Dalton Kincaid. First tight end off the board. This was one of the best tight end rookie tight end classes in a long time. And I got the top one. And again, we're going to, you may want to grab
some more receivers.
And again, I just want to make a point before I queue up more. We're going to grab 3 tight ends. So we're going to have 2 others to go along with Dalton Kincaid. So we do have Dalton Schultz still queued, Zay Jones, Jonathan Mingo. If Mingo went, I wouldn't take 2 of them, but you could do one or the other of Mingo or Thielen. Any other?
Well, now I do like Rashee Rice. We obviously do have 1 Kansas City receiver, but again, this is a tier break. So I think it's fine. I think Alec Pierce is fine at that value. Nico Collins.
Well, not with this next pick. We're at 124. So that's just going to another tier. I'm not interested in any of those. Right. Schultz did go. Herbert just went. And a chain is obviously gone because he was in my queue. So I'm on the board. We have Zay Jones, Mingo, Thielen, Rice. I'm leaning towards either getting 2 Kansas City receivers or 2 Jacksonville receivers. Again, they are at different ADPs. What do you think?
I'd say go Zay Jones. Even though I really like Rice, I want to get a lot of him this summer.
Yeah.
I think he's just in a much better situation than Sky Moore was last year. Good contested catch guy.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I definitely want a lot of shares of him.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. With having Lawrence, again, we talked about it in the offense stacking great offenses show, and I think we're achieving that in this draft, which I'm really happy with the way it's unfolding. That's why I didn't mind getting 2 receivers at different ADP value. That would have been getting we got 2 Jacksonville receivers at different ADP value, one in the 50s and one at 127, very different ADP value. So I like that. So we have a nice Tua stack and a nice Lawrence stack. Very, very happy with that. We are 14 picks away. Let me just take a quick look at the board and then we will queue up more. I probably want to queue up some more tight ends too, because I think we're coming into a decent just tight end value range. Let's see. So I'm up next at pick 141, and then after that in the 13th round at 148. Let's see. And again, my distribution is 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 5 receivers, 1 tight end. So, I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind getting one more running back here and a tight end if we find the value there. So let's cue some. We have Brian Robinson, so I don't like Gibson in this range, but there's another Kansas City piece that was a hero for me last year. Any other pieces in this range that you like?
You can guess on which Chicago player to take.
Yeah.
So that's a little tough. Go down just a little bit. Just curious. Foreman could take a Miami piece like most.
I just want to see. Oh,
again, it's a guess, but there's some correlation at least.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. It's 141 to 148. I just wanted to see, have a kind of context to what my next kind of picks are. Listen, Mostert was a hero for me last year. He's a hard runner. I know everybody loves a chain. I love a chain too. I know Jeff Wilson can be impactful. Not all 3 are probably going to get there, but I don't think there's anything wrong with grabbing him.
You gotta make your bet on it, and
Yeah. And I'm going to draft, when it's all said and done, 5 running backs, and I have 3 solid starters. So
you're looking 2 quarterback or 3 quarterback?
Hold on one quick second. I just want to 6 picks away, queue up a couple tight ends that I like. Let's see here. Could do another rookie though. I mean, I love the rookie tight ends. I mean, I'm not going to do 3 rookie tight ends. That's why if I could get like a Dulcich, I don't know that he'll still be there in 5 picks. I would really like that, because other than that, it's like
Johnson went. No, it's a good pick.
Yeah. What do you think about Dulcich 5 picks away if he's still there?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a little concern about, does Sean Payton believe in him? They traded for Adam Troutman. I don't know if that's a big issue or not, but I think Dulcich is fine. But I think there is a little risk we could have the same thing as last year of Albert O being the guy everyone wanted and he didn't see the field. Well, what if it's the opposite? What if Sean Payton loves Albert O and Dulcich is the one not seeing the field? So there's that risk for sure.
I'll answer your quarterback question.
I will say one value: if Gibson falls, you are locked into the Washington backfield, and it is a situation where either one. You're never going to get zeros from them. And it would be a situation where you could take that, and then your last running back is literally in the last round.
Okay, well.
Just a thought. But.
What do you think? 22 seconds, Dulcich or Gibson, because of the other guy, running backs I could wait on?
I kind of like the Gibson idea.
I don't often do the handcuff situation, but I think there are certain situations where it can work, and this is one of them, because like you said, you're not going to be taking stone zeros from one or the other. And if one got hurt, then one would become absolute hero,
Yeah,
right?
like
Is that how you would describe it?
exactly. After you make the next pick, I'll try
Yeah,
and
we'll talk
elaborate a
through it
little bit
after the
more on it.
next pick. Again, Dulcich is still there. I mean, I love Michael Mayer. I don't want to take like three. I mean, it's early for him. I don't want to take like necessarily three rookie tight ends, but I do love the rookie tight
Yeah.
ends. So that's why I mentioned Dulcich. I don't love the other tight ends in this range. I mean, I guess Everett's a
Thielen
part
just went, unfortunately.
And if I did do a third quarterback, to answer your question, TBD on that. We'll talk through on the next break. I'm on the clock. Okay, so would you go Dulcich?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let's grab him. Okay, all right. Now we have time to talk through some more strategies. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to talk about
Yes.
the running back situation is this is a case because it's these two guys, and you know, barring any injuries, it's going to be these two guys in Brian Robinson, Gibson. One, you took them at pick 100 and 141. It's not like you spent, you know, your top pick on it and you're getting a secondary piece.
And Gibson fell. Yeah.
These are not straight handcuffs. It's not like, say, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Like, Jalen Warren is not going to produce fantasy-wise if Najee stays healthy. When you look at what Najee did...
I think there's even some situations that are even more dramatic than that. But, yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, I think if you look at it, Warren had a couple okay games, but that was when Najee was dealing with that Liz Frank injury. Mm-hmm. You look at the last, like, 10 games of the year, and Najee was not leaving the field. So it's those types of situations. Steelers historically have been one of the most bell cow running back teams in the league, but yeah, it's situations like that. You know, if you're taking Tajay Spears behind, Derrick Henry, like Tajay Spears is not going to play unless Henry's hurt.
I was going to say, I got burned. I just want to make that point. I got burned by some like true handcuffs last year in Hassan Haskins, Chris Evans. There was another rookie. Who was the other rookie? Isaiah Spiller, that were just true handcuffs. This is not that situation. Like you said, Gibson fell, got great value. Pick 100, 141. They're both going to get work, together. I think that's a great point. And then I'll just take one running back late to round out my 5 running backs. So what I'm looking at, Steve, wow, that came quick. Only 5 picks away, and I only have tight ends queued. So actually, we'll talk about this after. I have 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 5 receivers, 2 tight ends. You could take a third tight end here and grab Laporta from a high-powered offense. Any receivers you like in this range?
Can you go down a little bit? This is a rough range.
Yeah. I don't mind Curtis Samuel. I don't mind Jaden Reed.
Well, the only thing I'd say is Samuel is not great with, you're betting on the Washington running game right now.
That's true. So. I do. I'm bullish on Bieniemy, but yes. And again, Samuel's 176, 2 picks away. Anybody else you want queued in the quarter or receiver range? Because running back, I'm going to wait on.
Yeah.
So anybody else?
It's a rough area receiver.
This is a yucky. I don't like it. I don't hide my feelings well. Okay, I'm up in 2 picks. I'm attacking Laporta if he's there. Yeah. Do you think I'm nuts to do 2 rookie tight ends?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm doing it. Okay. All right, 6 picks away. I'm done at tight end. I got my 3 tight ends. Just wanted to point that out that I got Kincaid, Dulcich, Laporta. So done there. Might grab a quarterback late. It was my next pick. I am probably looking receiver. The problem is that the receivers I don't love in this range, but it only probably gets worse, right? And I need to get a 6th viable one. So who else would you queue up?
So I think one, he's much later, but hey, this is where you start taking your shots, is Corey Davis. They've basically come out and said Corey Davis is going to be on this team. Sure, some things could change, but we're talking about a guy with Aaron Rodgers, deep threat guy.
Well, that's not this pick, though. I'm on the clock. So we're a pick. That's 213. We need to make a pick right now.
I'm not high on that area. You could.
You know what? I'm going to be done with running back. Do you think it's risky to take Ezekiel Elliott if he's going to land somewhere, right?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay, now I can breathe. I wanted to have a pick. I don't like this receiver range, and Corey Davis. He's going like 2 or 3 rounds from. He's going at the end of the draft.
Yeah,
so it's fine to queue him up late, or it's fine to queue him up, but I wasn't taking him there, so I just had to make a decision. I didn't love reaching for Jalen Reed either. I think Elliott's going to land somewhere. Hell, if he lands somewhere like the Broncos or something like that, I think then that's great. I'm fine taking risks with my fourth and fifth running back because I have three solid running backs. So let me just take a wide view lens, and then we'll focus on what to do with the last three picks, because I have three picks left to go. So again, I've got two stud quarterbacks. You could just stay put. I'll probably do a third one late, just mainly, I think this is a type of build where you could be okay, but with Tua's injury history and not knowing the bye weeks yet, that's why I'm going to take a third quarterback. So I just want to make that point. Done at running back with 5. Again, have 3 solid, very solid starters in Chubb, Jacobs, Robinson. Got, it's not even a handcuff. I just got all the pieces to the Washington running back room, which I like. Ezekiel Elliott, I believe he's going to land somewhere, as long as it's somewhere in a decent offense. As my last running back pick, totally fine with that. I have 5 running backs, and then receivers. I want at least 2 more. I have Tyreek Hill. It's only one alpha. Tyreek Hill, Christian stacked with Tua, Christian Kirk stacked with Lawrence, Jordan Anderson, Kadarius Toney, Zay Jones stacked with Lawrence. And then I got 3 tight ends kind of by committee here. I am very happy with them because I'm very bullish on the rookie tight ends, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, and then in the middle there, I got Greg Dulcich. So I'm happy with this at this positional distribution. I'm going to get 1 more quarterback and 2 more receivers for a build of 3, 5, 7, 3. Do you like that strategy?
Yeah, I do. I think having that extra quarterback protection, like you said, with the whole bias situation, with the whole, just everything.
I just wanted to take a look at my receivers here. Hold on one second. Okay, let's start queuing. 7 picks away. We're just focusing on quarterbacks and receivers. So who would you queue up? Obviously, stacks aren't really available to us as far as, but that's okay. This is more like, I would honestly, any of Purdy. I was going to say any of these core. We talked about Atlanta potentially bouncing back this year and being a top offense. So honestly, I love Sam Howell, but we have the whole running game to Washington. So if I didn't have that, I'd be interested in Sam Howell. So I'm interested in any of these. Let's queue up more receivers. Okay, so you like Corey Davis.
Tyquan Thornton could project to be a starter, low up in the air, but at least something you could bet
is
on.
He projected to be the number 2? Because Juju's the number 1, right?
Yeah, it's about guessing.
I know I have Dulcich. I'm bullish on Denver potentially bouncing back, so I don't mind Tim Patrick.
Yeah, it's about guessing on that offense.
Real quick, is Tim Patrick's projected to be fully healthy?
From what I've seen so far.
Okay, Thornton just went.
Definitely somewhat up in the air. You could guess on the Giants and Hodgins or Slayton, but again, it's a guess for those types of guys.
Right. I'm queuing him. Hodgins. You don't like Claypool because of just the run first offense, basically. Okay, we are up in 1 pick. So looking at ADPs, would you just grab like a Kenny Pickett, or would you wait? And because these guys are going later. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because he fell. Sure. He fell big time, actually. He was 170 ADP, 172. I got him at 189. I was targeted Pickens, targeted Freiermuth, wasn't able to get him. I don't care. I got a good third solid quarterback that I'm bullish on their offense potentially being one of the top 12 offenses this year. That's just a stand I'm making. So now with the last 2 picks, we can just focus on receiver. I have Davis and Patrick queued up. Again, I don't like Josh Palmer as much now with them drafting Quentin Johnson. Let's see here. Oh, I could actually get a stack with Allen Robinson. I don't mind him. He's going to be the third receiver, right? If they're the third receiver in the Pittsburgh offense, correct?
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much volume there'll be, because they'll still probably be behind Freiermuth and maybe even Najee in terms of targets. So.
Yeah, he'll be my last pick, so I'm fine with that. But if I could get 2 of these 3, I'd be happy, quite honestly. But I'm probably not. It gets thinned out. So are there anybody else that you want queued up? You mentioned Slayton.
Yeah,
again, it's guessing right in that offense, unfortunately.
Exactly. It's about guessing. Kind of same with the Lions. Like, is it Josh Reynolds, who has a much longer career history
or
with Jared Goff. I mean, they go back to the Rams days. So, or Marvin Jones, either one's going to fill that role for at least the first 6 weeks. But, I do think you're probably looking for the longer term, just since you're only going 7 receivers. Like,
right,
Marvin Jones might be fine those first 6 weeks, but probably not get much beyond
right,
that.
right.
So I'm very bullish on Corey Davis. That's who I'd take first here.
Whew. Okay. Well, I'm going to trust you on that. I want to get a piece of that Jets offense. We talked about,
Yeah.
again, watch our targeting top offenses show. I believe Jets will be one of them. So I am going to get Allen Robinson if he's there. If he's not, my backup plan. My backup plan would be obviously the 3 other receivers I'd be open to, and then I probably need to queue more because, again, things do thin out. But it is an ugly range once you're talking. I mean, but it's the last pick of the draft, right? Listen, I mean, in fact, let's take a quick look at the board while we have an opportunity as we're approaching the last round of our first puppy. This is our first puppy of 2023. So yeah, a little run on, kind of those 3rd-tier receivers. I picked up Corey Davis to get a piece of the Jets offense. Desmond Ridder and Jelani Woods just went. So some people are grabbing their, 3rd quarterbacks right now. So going back to the board, we'll see if one of these receivers fall to me. If one of these receivers fall to me, that's who I'm taking because everything else looks honestly gross. If Allen Robinson is there, I've got a little mini stack with Pickett. I was fine with Pickett on its own, but I was absolutely fine with Robinson as the 3rd receiver. And, I mean, he's a veteran, I know people were high on him last year at the Rams. It did not work out. Who knows? Maybe he goes to this offense and can be a floor play with the last pick. Anything to add on these 4 guys?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think, Tim Patrick is very interesting, but it is a new coaching staff. Darius Slayton, coaching staff wanted to get rid of him last year, and he ended up being a hero for them. So hopefully that earned him some goodwill. But
Yeah.
really, really tough with these kind of guessing games at the
Yeah.
end. I think there are others. I'm not sure if Van Jefferson's gone. There's been good reports about him and Stafford.
Are they having breakfast together? That's important.
They're apparently working out together. So
I don't see Van Jefferson.
maybe he already went.
Yeah, I know. I can look at the board, but
or you could type it in.
Let's just take a quick peek at the board here.
Yeah, Van Jefferson went a couple rounds ago. Wow.
What round?
That news buzzed him up to the 14th round.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. That was 2 years ago. Stafford's healthy. It can be one of the highest powered offenses in the league. So
yeah,
they have no defense now. They're going to have
he's essentially the wide receiver too in that offense. Obviously,
Yeah, I mean,
Allen
he's
Robinson
basically
left.
battling-
That's who I'm targeting.
Yeah, he's basically battling Tutu Atwell for that, and he's just got a bigger build and been there longer. All those kind of things. So
yeah,
we'll see.
All right. Well, up in 4 picks, so I'm confident that one of these guys will be here. Yep, it will. Again, I hope it's Allen Robinson. If not, I'd probably rank it Robinson, Slayton, Patrick, Jones would probably be how I rank it. Again, last pick of the draft. This is what it gets down to. But we'll talk about after we wrap up what we think. But I mean, I have to say, I am happy, very happy with the way things played out. Because some drafts, you as you're going through it, you just constantly are getting sniped. I mean, I think this draft has, I'm just kind of happy with the way it unfolded. What do you think?
Yeah, receivers a little tight. It started really strong, but obviously the back end is
a little weak. Yeah.
But I do think you have a running back situation where that Washington running back can be in the flex a lot.
Yep.
So
agreed.
If that's the case, then you are only needing to start three receivers probably.
Exactly. Good old Sam Howell just went. Okay, I am on the board. I'm grabbing Allen Robinson. So again, like the Pittsburgh offense, have Pickett. It's easy kind of. This is when I make 2 2v2, 3v, 3 decisions, I can lean into stacking or week 17 or something like that. Didn't have a strong preference and like Allen Robinson there. So once it finishes up, we will take a look at the whole team and go over that, which should be done in a couple picks here. But yeah, 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 7 receivers, and 3 tight ends. Good distribution that I like to do, especially before the bye week, when not knowing the bye. When you know the buys, maybe you can get a little more aggressive I'm more aggressive at this position, so I'll take less of that position. But before the bye, I like that distribution. Do you agree?
No, I absolutely agree, because that is, that's the thing. You just never want to take a 0 if possible. And, you don't want to get in a situation where both quarterbacks, or you only have 2 tight ends and they're both on a bye, or you went, hyper fragile at running back and 2 of a bye. And
right. Exactly.
So.
Exactly. I really like this team. I do.
Especially if Elliott gets a really good landing spot, because then he's another option for the
that's a wild card, but it's a wild card that was willing to risk, as we're waiting for it to finish up, at pick 172. Again, he fell, and sometimes it's just getting that ADP value, and if he gets picked up by a great situation, I can guarantee his ADP is not going to be 172. So you're getting amazing closing ADP value, which can be another big key strategy to doing well. Okay, I'm not sure why it didn't end, because it went 0 on.
Sometimes you need to get out of it and go.
Just go to
the results.
Okay, let me find. Oh boy, no, it's not.
Maybe it hasn't updated yet. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not under. It's not. Yeah, it's not under results. It's under completed. Sorry. Okay, so we are. No, that was the big board. Sorry, the NFL season. Sorry. Okay, puppy. Here we go. Yep, this is it. Can I still look at my team here? Okay. So yes, the 3 quarterbacks were Lawrence, Tua, Kenny Pickett. Love that. Stacked all of them. We'll get to that in a minute. 5 running backs, Chubb, Jacobs, Brian Robinson, Gibson, from the same team, but we talked about that in the show, that the ADP value was very different, and you're not going to take zeros with one of them. They both can be a 4 play. Hopefully one of them, like you said, is always, these are my 2 running backs, one in Washington in the flex. That's a perfect situation. Elliott, wild card, getting him at pick 172 could be amazing closing ADP value. Very happy with that. I got my alpha receiver, stacked him with Tua and Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, and Zay Jones, stacked with Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Addison, rookie in a high-powered offense in Minnesota, Kadarius Toney, I mentioned Jones, Corey Davis, getting a piece of the Jets offense, which I'm bullish on, and Allen Robinson, again, bullish on the Pittsburgh offense. Tight ends, love the rookie tight ends, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, and then I got Greg Dulcich in the middle there. So I am really, really happy. Again, yes, as you pointed out, my receivers outside of Tyreek Hill just being the only alpha, probably only going to get 3 receiver production in total, but I do think I can cobble together 3 receivers with this group. That is definitely my weakest group, though. What are your thoughts? And then we can get out of here.
Yeah. So the one thing I'd say is with that, I do think with receivers, I'm very bullish on Addison. Right now, the reports are strong on Toney. We'll have to see, obviously, but I think they have the intention. Hopefully, he's in the right place now, the right system, and he buys into what they're doing, because we know the talent's there. He just has to stay healthy and stay focused. So, I mean, he could be a steal. Zay Jones, I think, will give you a couple spike weeks and times where Kirk is maybe not doing the best. So I think he's fine, but I'm actually really bullish on Corey Davis. I think he just fits what Rodgers likes to do. And yeah, he might be the 3rd piece in that offense, but I mean, we're talking Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best touchdown throwing quarterbacks and deep ball throwing quarterbacks in the league. Corey Davis is a very good deep ball receiver. So
yeah,
I'm fine with that. So, and your tight ends, I think, it's you got three upside plays. Dalton Kincaid, who, the reports are looking like a receiver. Greg Dulcich, we know
Yeah.
his ability to make big plays, and Sam Laporte is another one in integrate offense. So especially if that Denver defense or Denver offense really picks up, and the reports on Kincaid being kind of used in the big slot role,
Yep.
boy, that group could score a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think by committee, those three have a ton
Yeah.
of ceiling potential.
Yeah.
Again, check out our show we did on stacking top offenses on our, obviously, the FanSpeak Network. Steve, let's just break down, and then we'll get out of here, the offenses that we have some good exposure to. Jacksonville, Miami, top offenses last year, believe the same this year. I'm bullish on Pittsburgh potentially working its way into a top offense second year for Kenny Pickett in that offense. These running backs, no, they don't scream top offenses necessarily, maybe Vegas, but
Raiders were, I think, 11th or 12th.
Yeah, they were 11th or 12th.
Points,
yeah,
so.
Absolutely. But, again, you're talking bell cow running backs and tons of value at the running back position. And then again, Miami, Jacksonville, Minnesota, Kansas City, New York Jets, obviously with Aaron Rodgers, I'm bullish on them being a top offense. Buffalo, Detroit. I feel between, let's see, in total, Jacksonville, Miami, Kansas City, Buffalo, Detroit, Vegas, Minnesota. Did I say Kansas City? I mean, I'm getting access to what I feel could really round out to be the top offenses. Do you kind of agree?
Yeah, no. I mean, as you said, there's a bullish case for the Steelers. There's also a bullish case for the Browns. Keep in mind, obviously, Dearness Johnson and Kareem Hunter gone for Nick Chubb, and they've added weapons. Deshaun Watson a full year. If he's playing well, maybe that team's just scoring more. And if it's still funneling through Nick Chubb could be RB1 this year.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been so much fun. We are going to have live drafts every single week. It was fun drafting our first puppy of the best ball season. But again, live drafts every week. So be sure to subscribe to know when we go live or put up a new show. Strategy shows, live drafts, all summer long. Content on fanspeak.com. Be sure to check that out. We will have best ball content, several articles each week. I know Steve and I both have some new pieces out this week. So check that out on fanspeak.com. And thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.